Morning, beloveds. Here I am again. I was up this morning. No, I'm up this morning. I'm here. And I was up on the roof this morning, and I was just checking the roof and the plants, and decided that the roof needed sweeping a little bit. So I was sweeping the roof. And it was really interesting. We've just put a new broom up there, a softer broom. And it was just really interesting how the existence speaks to you in the most simple ways. And how it gives you messages if you're listening. Maybe in the beginning we need to go and clear the dross from the body, some of the conditioning, some of the wounds, we have to do that on a more different way. Like maybe we do meditations, go and do meditative practices. We go and do groups and stuff that help us to understand maybe some of the wounds that are held in the body. And then ultimately as we mature, it comes back to the self. And it comes back to not out there, but here. So it's like, okay, it's very interesting if you watch where you live, if you watch the room in which you live in, the space, your bedroom, the house in which you live, the environment, which is actually an expression of you. So it is this, it is outside there, but it's this, and it's your immediate surroundings. So in this represents also you, and it shows you. So, what can I say this morning? So as I say, sometimes we are out there doing stuff, clearing the outer layers of this. And as we mature, we come closer and closer, and then we start watching this. So it's really good to watch the body and see what's happening to the body. What is happening? What is it telling us? What is it trying to get our attention? It's like a kid in school keeps putting its hand up but never gets picked to give the answer. And maybe the right answer, maybe the wrong answer, but sometimes our bodies are creating what we see as sicknesses, or it's trying to get your attention. Especially if you are a person on the, how would we say, on the path of knowing the self. We're asking to say, I want to know myself. So existence is listening to us, and it's going to give us the answers, but we have to be listening. And sometimes we're not listening, so existence gives us stronger messages. So, of course, it's very unpleasant when the body is in pain, or the body is doing something. And we want to reach for the medicine cabinet straight away, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But actually what it is it's saying, hello, I need you to take notice. You're not watching something, you're not being aware of something. I need to bring something to your attention. So I'm creating attention in your body so that you will maybe slow down, or whatever it is, whatever it makes you do. So if something's going on in the body, see beyond the sickness, or beyond the illness, or beyond whatever your mind thinks it is, and go a layer deeper, and see if you can catch if you are bullying yourself. Sometimes the body's saying, I want to stop, I want to slow down, I want you to take some care of me, I want you to nurture me. And all we do is we keep, in our yang way, we keep bulldozing and pushing it. No, we're going to keep going to work, we're going to keep doing this, we're going to keep doing that, and we're not listening. And if we're not careful, then the more sensitive, or the more refined part of the being is not being listened to. So, Osho does a very good CD, or called, I think it's now called Body-Mind Balancing, and it is a method where you just listen to a tape, you lie down, it's about an hour long, and it helps you to start speaking to your body and checking with your body what is going on. It's a very nice way to start tuning in a little bit and getting your own answers back, getting your answers for yourself by asking your body what it needs. Saying, hey, I'm sorry I haven't been listening to you for a long time, and is there anything I can do for you today? Is there anything that I can do? And you will be surprised if you make space and the time that you will start to receive your own messages and understand what you need to do. Now your mind might give you all the excuses why you can't do that. And they might be very good excuses because your mind knows how to catch you. But as you mature in it and you relax into it, you will find that you'll be able to listen to yourself more easily, and you will find that you are guided to things that are supporting and nurturing you. Now, what I was getting on the roof this morning also is that there are different tools for different things. There are different ways. I was using one brush. I was using the soft new brush, and I was doing it and I was thinking, this isn't really working properly because actually there's quite a lot of stuff here. So I actually got the big older brush that I've got, which is more tough, and I was using that. And that was getting it much easier and bringing it into a pile. And then I thought, okay, now it's time for the soft brush. So I used the soft brush and I brought that into a pile. Then I used the, I swept it in and I put it in a bucket and it's there. So it was seeing that there are correct tools for different times and for different jobs. And for me it was an understanding that sometimes you can't use the soft brush. Sometimes you have to use the harder brush. And sometimes the harder brush is not appropriate and the soft brush is. And there is always an appropriate or correct timing. So for me, as I share with people, I am learning at times to just back off and to realize this person either is not interested or I am not the correct brush, I am not the correct person to help them. And instead of me pushing and going, no, you've got to do it, and you can do it with the wrong brush, you can still probably do the job, but it's not going to be as efficient. So then it's good if you can just step back and just allow, for me the refining is to allow the flow to happen. And that is where I am, which is like not wanting to do it in the old logical way, or not wanting to see something that is, that you know you can maybe help somebody, but you're not being given permission, or they're not ready yet for that intensity maybe, or maybe they will never be. And that is why there is so many beautiful, aware people around, especially around it now on the planet, so that you can find somebody that really resonates. Don't run away from somebody if it's tough, if it really resonates with you. But if you have somebody you trust, stick it out. But if it really is not working for you, then go and see if it is time for you to be with somebody who may be able to speak or share with you in a different way. There are many around, and it's not about hopping from one to the other, because that's also an escape. It's not going deeper. But it is a matter of, well, for me, I've realized that I don't need to beat my head against a wall. If somebody chooses to stay where they are, and that's what they need to do in this present moment, that's fine. And even if I can see that I can help them, and even if I can see something, that's not my business. It's not my business to change them. They are perfect where they are. We are all perfect where we are. And Somebody was just talking to me about compassion, and like, for me, this is what compassion is. Compassion is respecting that people are where they are and loving them where they are. You may not choose to be around them. You may not choose to, but not to beat your head up against, but headbutt them. This is cruelty. This is unkind. If people are not ready to shift yet, it is their right to stay where they are. This planet is giving us so many lessons at the moment, and I see that many still choose not to listen to her, and that's fine also. But she will give the lessons harder and harder, and then one has to sit back, and it takes quite something. You have to empty the heart, because to truly be compassionate, you have to sometimes stand back and watch people, even if they are devastated, even if they are being destroyed, even if they are dying, because that is a respect of the choice that they choose to do. My teacher Diraj always said, you had to respect that sometimes people didn't want healing or didn't want something, and that was their right, and it was not your business to bully them and push them or enforce something on them that they didn't want. It takes the greatest courage to do this. To watch and respect that people may choose to die rather than to shift, may choose to stay in pain because it's too difficult for them to let go of the attachment to certain things. And so this is my learning this morning. Continual learning, continuing unfolding, continually refining. But as one refines, one will see more. And as one sees more, it is not always comfortable. It is not always pleasant. It is difficult to see people struggling and knowing there is nothing you can do, because you cannot do it for the other. You can only shine the light or point the finger to the moon if they are ready to receive something from you. But they have to choose to look, they have to choose to want to do that. And we get very attached to our beliefs, and we've had them for a long time, so we're not so easy to get rid of them. Sadly, we have to sometimes have the tougher lessons to be able to understand something. But that's okay also, all in its own timing. You know, even people say about the planet, and I love this planet will live and this planet will die. This body will live and this body will die. Now, it will either live or die. It will either be longer or shorter. But this will eventually happen. So, as one starts to mature, you have to empty the heart, have an empty heart. Because otherwise, to watch what one has to watch and to see what one has to see would break your heart and would kill you. So the maturing is to use the right brush at the right time, to use the right tool for the right job, and sometimes to step back and know that it's not the right time, and to not interfere with people who do not want to be interfered with. Anyway, that's why I put these little videos out. I put them out so I don't care. Maybe somebody will watch them, maybe nobody will watch them, and that's also okay. But I put them out, and they're there. Existence will always give you what you need. And existence, you know, somebody said to me, oh, well, how will I know? I said, don't worry, existence will put people in your path, or put situations in your path for you to grow and learn. The trick is you have to be ready that you want that. You have to be ready. You're not just speaking, oh, I want to be aware. I want to know the self. I want to know myself. Because when you start unpacking yourself, you have to find all those bits inside yourself that you really have been hiding. And that takes courage to look into those. So everything has its own timing. Everything has its correct timing. It's sad for me that people have to really get to the point where they are in devastation for them to be able to drop things that are no longer supporting them. But if that is needed, that is needed. And some can just catch it. And I would say as this Suchira matures, I don't always catch it. I also have my tests. But I catch them quicker and quicker, and as I catch them and I take my own responsibility, I find that it moves through quicker, and then it's amazing what comes. The magic that comes is amazing. So I tell you, keep going, it's worth it. It's most beautiful. It is a test. And as one becomes aware, one has to learn to step aside from the attachment of it. Not by being cold or unfeeling, but not by having an agenda or an expectation that people have to be different than they are. So my beloveds, be who you are. Make a little time and space to listen to that small voice that tells you that is your most innate wisdom inside yourself. It will point you to the people that maybe can point the way. Not the way for you, but just point towards the light. And then it's up to you. Anyway, my darlings, I wish you a beautiful morning from Pune, Riverside. And the story of the brooms on the roof. Okay, I love you. Have a beautiful day.